Welcome. Actually, my name is. But you know what? Fuck this. I really did spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to craft the best introduction I could. So I've spent a lot of time, researching it, spent a whole lot of time studying it, pondered on it for hours. But fuck it, I got nothing. But regardless, I'm gonna show you how to make this. And if you think that Columbus had the best boat? Or Marco Polo? Or Magellan? Nah. Fuck that. I'm Zugate Muga, and I'm gonna show you how to make this absolute fucking magnum opus of a fucking boat. So just go ahead and get yourself a paper with these like cubes, and get yourself a pen. Start off by drawing 7 dots at the distance of 5 cubes each. Yeah, like that. Turn the paper vertically, and the dots you've drawn already are gonna serve as the centers for lines. The first one is gonna have 3 cubes on each side. Second one is gonna have 4 on each side. Third one 5. Fourth one 6. Fifth one 6 as well. And then the sixth one will have 4.5 on each side. Connect the edges of the stripes with some slightly curved lines. And I want to take an opportunity to apologize for my low video quality. All 12 of my split personalities did work really hard. But yeah, we all equally broke. Go get some scissors and cut that bitch. And you get this. Now go ahead and get yourself a pack of toothpicks. Then get some more toothpicks. Open and empty one of them out. Then you're gonna split that pile you just emptied out in half. Then you're gonna split that pile in half as well. Then you're gonna position them like this, nicely stacked. Now you're gonna take some of those other toothpicks you have and you're gonna carefully position them on top just like I do. So watch carefully how I do it, you do the same. After that, get a pencil and just straighten them out a bit, I guess. Get a glue gun and glaze that shit. Once it's no longer sticky and warm, turn it around because we're gonna start working on that other side. Place that paper cutout on top of it. After that, get yourself a marker of your choice and you're gonna use it to draw along the edges of the paper cutout, so it comes out looking like this. For this next thing, you're gonna need a razor knife and some cutting pliers. Now take those cutting pliers and cut along the edge of the line while trying not to damage the shape, and also try to keep those little bits of wooden trash at one spot if you can.
6.5 hours later.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Now go ahead and take the razor knife and trim and cut and slice off some of those little bits and extra edges that hang out of it. Then find yourself some cardboard, and it's good if it's nice and thick one like this one. Draw along its edges with that same paper cutout. Again, get a razor knife. Now that you have your cutout, you can get your previous ones to compare the size and the shape and whatnot. Now take another paper and draw the same number of lines as the first time, but this time all of the lines are going to be shorter by 1 cube. Remember, 1 cube shorter each. Connect the edges of the lines. Cut out the drawing. Get your previous one and use it to compare the size, and you can clearly see that there's 1 cube less there. Now get a marker and draw the imprint for that one. Cut that shit out. Now bear with me. This time you draw 7 dots with 4 cubes of space in between each, and the first dot will be the center of a line that's 4 cubes long, the second one 6, the third one 8, the fourth one 10, also the fifth will have also 10, and then the sixth one will have 3.5 on each side. Then you just go and connect the edges. Cut that out, that's gay! Get an imprint done, crop it out, and so you basically get this. Now go ahead and redo the process because you're gonna need a second one. When you get all 5 of them, it's time to assemble.
Let's go, Ultron Force!
Get a glue gun, glaze it out, and then carefully stick it on top, and you might want to hold your hand a little there so it doesn't slip off. Rinse and repeat with the other ones, I guess. So you basically have something that looks like this. Now do the same thing with the wooden deck and make sure that when you attach it to the top, you carefully hold it so it doesn't slip and slightly adjust for the edges. Now go to your mother's kitchen and get some aluminum cooking foil. Then get your scissors and cut out a square. I wanted to do it, but I accidentally cut out a fucking rectangle. You'll need it for later. Now go ahead and cut out 2 stripes that are about 1 to 2 inches wide and about 5 inches long. Then get a glue gun and start glazing with it so you can stick the 2 pieces of foil you just cut out to the sides of the boat to act as its hull. Also, be careful not to rip the foil along the way. because, well, you'd have to do it all over again then, you know, cutting the foil and whatnot. Feel free to use the scissors to cut out any excess of the foil that you're not gonna need. Also neatly tuck in the back of the boat. Now you're gonna place that cube of aluminum on the bottom of it, so just cover it with glue and then neatly tuck it in on the bottom or top, whatever. Crop off the excess aluminum foil with your scissors. Do some finishing touches with the glue gun as well. And you're basically done with the bottom part. Now I'm gonna need you to bear with me even harder because we're gonna be working on the top part as well as the sails. So go ahead and get some more toothpicks. So line them up like this, or maybe a little less. Then go ahead and glaze them out. Then put some glue on the back of the boat and then attach that piece you previously glued to the back so it becomes the backside. Get some more toothpicks. Position them like this, like this. Yeah, when I tried to stick them together, I realized I ran out of glue, so I had to get more. You're gonna do a second one just like it, and you're gonna split them up in the middle. Now this is where I realized I fucked up.
That, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? I'm fucked up.
I basically forgot to film the part where I glued these two to the front of the boat. But yeah, that's where they're supposed to go. What do you want from me, okay? I'm sorry! So go ahead and get some more toothpicks. You're gonna be putting them at this edge, both to cover these holes and to act as a type of guardrail. So go ahead and cut the pointy edges off. They're supposed to be about this length. Once you have a sufficient amount, line them up like this. Glaze them all up one by one. To put them on the sides of the boat one by one, you'll first begin putting glue on the boat and then pressing them gently up on the boat and hold them with your hand just in case they don't slip and until they don't dry out. Once you've positioned all of them, they're supposed to look like this. So go ahead and get some more toothpicks. Cut off their ends just like you did before. Then you're gonna be placing them in these cracks down here as well as up here, and you'll be using glue to do that. Fill in the gaps with glue and then gently place them up one by one and make sure to hold with your hand. So in the end, it's all supposed to look like that, all nice and tidy, and make sure to grab your razor knife and gently cut off any of those loose, stretched pieces of glue that look like hair. I should mention that at this point my hands were going numb. But fuck it, we ball! Now we're gonna work to make the captain's box here. Get some of those pointless toothpicks and then position them like this and just glaze them out. Get some more of those pointless toothpicks and you're gonna use your cutting pliers to approximately cut in 3 equal pieces. Then once you're done with that, position them like this in the shape of doors. Glaze over that, and then once it's dry out, use either your cutting pliers or your razor knife to smoothen out and remove any of the excess edges on the sides. Now we're gonna begin assembling the captain's box, and we're gonna do that by starting from these sides. You're gonna take your glue gun, place a little bit of glue down there, and then just stick out those big sides on the side. And make sure to hold them just a little if you need to. To glue the doors in place, you'll place a little bit of it at the bottom parts of the doors, then you'll gently position it at the above shown position, and afterwards you'll hold it up a little until you're sure it's dry, after which you'll place a little bit of glue at the edges of the ceiling. Now get more of those pointless toothpicks and position them like this. Glue them together. Place some glue on these edges here, after which you just stick it on top and hold it a bit. Now to make these little fences on top of the captain's box, just place a little bit of glue down, get one of those pointless toothpicks and just gently place it down. Now you don't have to do this, but if you want you can do just like I did. Take 3 of those pointless toothpicks, stick them together, and that's basically gonna be that frontal fence. Then glue it in its position. Then get some more of those pointless toothpicks and position them just like I did. Glaze them all up. I should mention that at this point all of the smell and fumes of the glue were starting to get to my head. I was on that Dave Blunt's diet. I was completely disconnected and was starting to tweak out in my room, which went along for a few hours and had to continue the work on the video tomorrow basically. Don't be dumb like me, kids. Wear protective gear. Glue them in the corners and hold until they don't dry off, so that once they're all together they form a neat little box. Position the crate in the front part of the boat. Use a basic pen to mark where you're gonna later trace with the glue gun. Put the glue on the markings you've made and then just place the crate on top of them. Now we can finally begin working on the sails. To begin that, you'll need to get these bigger sticks that are used for barbecue and stuff. These big sticks are supposed to go here, there, and also one there. Actually, get some more. Go ahead and get some more toothpicks. This time cut only one tip off and then just glue them together. Get about this many and then you're gonna attach them with the glue to the bottom of the big one. Start off by first putting glue on the big stick and then one by one go in circles by placing them on there. Now when it comes out looking all raggedy like this, don't worry, because you're gonna be covering it with foil very soon. So just start off by putting the part with the toothpicks just like I did, and take a pen and mark where you're gonna cut, then repeat that at several points along the way. Then cut the final product in 3 parts like this. After which you're gonna glue it to the bottom of the big stick by putting some glue on the toothpicks and then just placing the foil on it and slowly rolling it around. Once you've reached the end of the foil, just put some hot glue on it and pack it up a little. So it basically comes out looking like this little shiny firework. Once you've repeated the process with all 3 of them, do just like I did and take a marker and mark it approximately the same spot where I did. Cut off those parts just like I did, then get some more of the long ones. Get a pen and mark them at the same spot as I did. Then get the cutting pliers and cut at those spots. Should look something like this. Then take another one and mark it at these spots. Then take your cutting pliers and cut them there where you marked. And yeah, it should end up looking something like this. Get your razor knife and you're gonna make slight carvings near the ends of the sticks. Now those slight carvings are gonna serve as the holdings for the ropes or the threads that we're gonna use later. God damn, I need a boost! Get a packet of brown paint. Pour a little out and then mix it out with water. I think that match will be about enough. Paint it up so it looks just like this. So basically what you're gonna do for all the sails is that you're gonna first put a little bit of glue at the bottom part of each of the big sticks. Then you're gonna attach one of the longer parts down there, one of those longer sticks that are supposed to serve as the bottom part of the sail. And then you're basically gonna hold until it dries off a bit. Now do that for basically every single one of them. So that in the end they all look just like this. You can use whatever textile you want to make the sails, but I decided to use a sock. Try to cut whatever textile or cloth you're using for the sails as cleanly as possible so you don't loiter around, and try to cut it off in these squares just like I am doing. So now that you got your cloth squares, go ahead and position the sails where you want them so you can cut them there. Best use a scissor. Now get yourself a basic knitting thread and start stitching them or connecting them together to the sails, and it's okay if you don't know how to do it, just get your grandma to do it for you. Not that I really knew since I ended up using hot glue to make them hold together. A couple of finishing snips and that's it. All that's now left is to attach the sails to the boat. I'd start off by attaching the first one there on the front, since I already left a little gap for it so it can fit. And since all I need to do is basically just pour some hot glue in that small hole in front of it. And once it's full I can just hold it until it's like dry. Now for the bigger sails, you're gonna wanna make sure that those aluminium circles at the bottom are as round as possible. So use a toothpick to make them as such. Then when that's done, just pour in enough glue until it reaches the top of that circle. And then just lock in place, I guess. Take a roll of knitting thread, best to use the one with the same color as you used for the sails, just to make it as real as possible. And then just go around the tops of the sails, tying them up one by one, or gluing them in my case, I guess. Well, I guess I didn't need the glue for all of them. Meh. Also, don't make it way too tight so it doesn't bend the sails. Once you're done with the thread, cut it off, and that's it. And now, with the vessel finally complete and everything where it should be, after all of that researching and all the crafting, the time has come for us to christen this mighty vessel and once and for all find out, will it float? I didn't really test this before, so I really hope it does. Drums, please. Like a turd in a toilet. My name is Zuga8Muga and it's been an absolute pleasure entertaining you in my first ever YouTube video. I hope you've enjoyed it, like, share and subscribe, and I hope to seeing you soon. Probably.